I'm the definition. I'm the definition. Come and grab your lesson while the class is still in session. Listen, country right there with a little bit of thug. We can cause hell, so might as well just show us love. We the definition. We the definition. Come and grab your lesson while the class is still in session. Listen, country right there with a little bit of thug. We can cause hell, so might as well just show us love. I came up in the back of the shack, we shaking that jug on the lowdown now. Come on back and you get a sack, just holler at Jack on the lowdowns how. In the beginning I was sinning, had to learn and no pretending. Fairly hard on the muddy clay, kids in the yard now every day. Down in the deer blast, pistons here time. Let me your ear now, get it in gear now. Bloodhound dog for the mud time, y'all. Misbehave, get an unmarked grave. Call me old and set in my ways. Call me bold, I'll die today. You regret the day that you came our way. I regret to say why here you lay. Bring around the Ferris wheel. We gon' charge them terrorist bill. What can I say? Get the fuck out of state. If you don't like the good old US of A. Hey, by the way, while you're on your way, let's not forget we're here to stay. And that deep red clay runs in our blood. Stacking shells and packed with mud. I'm the definition. I'm the definition. Come and grab your lesson while the class is still in session. Listen, country right there with a little bit of thug. We can cause hell, so might as well just show us love. We the definition. We the definition. Come and grab your lesson while the class is still in session. Listen, country right there with a little bit of thug. We can cause hell, so might as well just show us love.
I'm the definition of that white trailer trash. On the road making rounds and I'm picking up cash. In my razor at the mud park, I be hauling ass. Exotic pushing up in the car, yeah, I keep a stash. Who the fuck you thought it was? I be throwing up love. From Kentucky to Tennessee, yeah, I'm a country thug. Real recognized real, yeah, that's for sure. Heard they call me narcotic cause the flow too dope. You gotta earn a seat at the table with me to get a vote. I got some country killers with me that'll leave your body cold. Mobile home rich, king get his shit, yeah, I got the throne. With a attack bully with me when she bite it breaks bone,
I'm the definition. I'm the definition. Come and grab your lesson while the class is still in session. Listen, country right there with a little bit of thug. We can cause hell, so might as well just show us love. We the definition. We the definition. Come and grab your lesson while the class is still in session. Listen, country right there with a little bit of thug. We can cause hell, so might as well just show us love. Bloodhound and narcotic. What y'all know about that turkey call?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, that turkey call is pretty cool.
Hey, that turkey call was right here. I don't know what happened to it though, but
that's dope.
Yeah. Hey, we had at 9, now we got 8 to come back. They'll be trickling in from time to time.
Yeah.
So we already went live at 7. I'm so bad with times and how it works when it comes to over there. You're part of the country. So we went live. So now we're gonna do it again this time and do it right. And so this is Mohawk Matt. Dog, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Going on. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And just so you know, it's been day 3 for me with no Suboxone.
Good Lord. Nothing. How is that? How is that working for you?
Well, it's been a 2-month. It's been a 2-month journey.
Yeah.
You know, went viral. Wrote somewhat of a hit song in the process. Met some great people. Built up a great fan base. I call them family. And I was told by bigger artists, stop putting your life online. You know, stop. You know, but I felt this as a calling. You know, I knew I was going to beat this thing.
Yeah. You know? No, you knew you are going to beat this thing. You are going, no matter what, you are going to.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because, you know, I understand now, it took damn near 40 years for this to happen, but I understand now what an addict really is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I tend to frown on people that say don't put your personal life out there because you're an artist. I don't know what the term for me is, model, actor.
I didn't either.
Like, I don't know what my term is. I do a lot of shit. I wear many hats in the media industry. And I feel like my personal life is exactly what sells. I could not talk to you if I didn't go through what I went through. You wouldn't have even found me if I didn't go through what I went through. So like we have to include that. It has to be a part of what we put out there.
Right. like reality TV.
I mean,
it's
I guess,
comedy.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That's exactly right. Reality, but we've gone through so many things that like you have to share it. And as an artist, you need to incorporate that in your songs.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that you and your old lady was listening to this, Welcome to My Addiction.
Yes.
So that's exactly what I did when I wrote that song. I literally, like, there's a judge in Mississippi named Judge Clark.
Yeah.
I seen that man throw a bunch of people away. And there's a line in this song where it says 25 years after 5 beers, can we get a break, Judge? 25 didn't budge. He didn't budge. That's a truth. So I seen the man get 25 years.
Damn.
Didn't budge, you know. And his wife had cancer. Not the judge, but the guy that got sentenced to 25 years. His wife had cancer.
And the judge didn't care.
The man was a habitual offender. I will say that, you know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I run the, I don't want to say I support all that shit with the judge and everything, but as I get older and I'm retired from crime and I'm sober, you kind of look back and you understand why sometimes they do the things they do. Didn't Struggle Jennings write a song similar to that too? Struggle's got a song where he talks about that. You listen to him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out Struggle. Absolutely. Struggle's a real one. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's badass. Yeah, he's got a song similar to like what you said, where he talks about judge didn't budge, gave him like 100 years or some on like some big case, and I'm pretty sure that was true in his history too.
Well, I know. Actually, I know what happened to Struggle. I one of my close friends was I don't know if you ever heard of the artist Haystack.
Yeah, come on, of course I have. Yeah.
Okay, so me and Haystack was real close, and so he kind of broke down to me the charge situation with Struggle.
Yeah.
Struggle really was moving dope like that. Like,
yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I heard. And he's related to who? Waylon Jennings or something like that. That's his grandpa or something.
That's I don't know enough to speak on it. So he's related to Shooter.
Shooter Jennings. Okay. Now Shooter's the son, right?
Shooter is the grandson.
Okay.
I think I could be fucking this up.
Yeah. There's a whole long line of history with all them people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Hank Williams III never even really lived with Hank Williams Jr. and Hank Williams Jr. never met Hank Williams Sr. And
yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. But yeah, so some of that stuff with the charge was true then, correct?
With what now? Oh yeah, with him moving that much weight around Tennessee. Yeah, from what I understand, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so somebody like that could, relate. But that's one reason I brought you up here tonight. You said something to me on the phone that was interesting, and it's so true.
Yeah.
But most of these people, if they Bloodhound Nation, they know my story.
Yeah.
But I brought you on because I want to talk about you. I want to hear your story. But you said something on the phone. You said in Mississippi over there, it's more based on organizations. In California, the penitentiary is more based on race.
And gang. It's race and gangs. You know what's funny? Whenever I go through the South, I've been to like Missouri, and I haven't been to Mississippi, but I've been to Tennessee. I've been through some of them southern states. Boy, I look over my shoulder, and I'm a white boy, and everybody keeps like out here. Everybody talks about like, oh, like it's racist down there. Yeah, but white boys like me, we have it rough down there too. Really? Well, we don't, bro. I go through some of them redneck towns on tour, and like when I'm working in these conventions, and bro, they're not looking. Them rednecks don't like me either. The way I look with my tattoos and shit. Oh yeah. I don't have the best of time. I don't even go to country concerts, and I love country, but I don't go to the concerts because I'm gonna tell you right now, dog, them cowboys are hard on motherfuckers that look like me at them country shows. I bet so, man. You would like a country rap though. You would like the redneck rave. Well, I do. I'm just getting into it though. This is a new genre that like everybody's getting used to, and because when I listen to rap, though, I'm listening to 1980s, early 90s shit still. So all this new stuff, I'm having to get used to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you when you say early 90s, late 80s rap, obviously you're talking about Tupac. Some of Tupac, you're gonna laugh at me, bro, but I'm a huge I like Wu-Tang and like old Mobb Deep and like fucking I like shit like NWA and like old Public Enemy and like I'm talking like Protect Your Neck. Yes, bro. I listen to old. I'm talking like old shit. Like you know what I mean? I just turned 48, so like I grew up in the late 80s, mid 90s, so like I've got an old school flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I know, it's so different, and we're gonna get into it. California's
yeah.
so different, ain't it?
No, California is extremely different. A lot of people don't realize that. Like I said, it's even our drugs, our gangs, and our streets. It's all based off race and gangs, and it's very serious over here. A lot of people don't understand that. You know?
Really? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, man, I wanna play a quick clip real quick just to
Go
let
for it.
people kinda understand where we are, man, and then just expand on that, you know?
Sounds
No,
good.
those are the worst ones. Those two cities will fuck you up. They'll arrest you for putting a sticker on a bus bench. Burbank. San Fernando is known for being very brutal. You don't fuck around in San Fernando either. Even though that's a really dangerous city, they don't play.
And then over here too in Southgate, we had like a gang unit.
We have gang crash unit. Bro, the crash unit in the 90s was treacherous.
Yeah.
So, just so the people who are listening that don't understand the layout of California,
Yeah.
if this was California, where explain to me those cities are in the middle of or the south part of California.
Okay, so yeah, we have like the San Diego where your fingers are touching that's you're gonna go, that's like real SoCal. That's like San Diego down by like the border.
Okay.
You get to the silver thing in the middle which separates it, that's probably LA, the Valley, the Inland Empire. That's central Southern California. Above that, you start Bakersfield, Fresno, Sacramento, all the Northern California states. And a lot of people don't understand those two halves of California don't even get along with each other.
Really?
The
So
Northern California people do not like Southern California people.
is that why? Well, I don't even want to ask you that question. Is there's rival gangs
Yeah.
from both areas, right?
Yep.
One of them's a famous. That's actually how I found you. One of them's a famous rapper, and he's from what they call Serrano, South Side.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Southern Hispanics. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're saying the actual state of California.
Well, it's like this. It's like, okay, so like I told you before, California is racially and gang motivated. Driven. Driven's a better word. The white boys even, I was a white boy in prison. I grew up with all Mexicans, mind you. I'm one of them white boys that grew up with all Mexicans, wore Ben Davis, Dickies, Nike Cortez, Chuck Taylor's, white t-shirt creased up. But when I went to jail, I made the smart choice of staying with my people because that's just how the jail systems are.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, that's just it is what it is. I tend to not get in these conversations with people that don't understand our gang life because it's a relentless, tiresome argument where they just assume we're all racist, not understanding the backstory. We all really do network and get along anyway. You just think we look like this on the surface, but so you have the Mexican gangs, which are separated by their choices of Southern and Northern California, and the white boys. We get along with all the white boys across the state, but we're still like it's still a little bit like, you know what I mean? Like you're from up north, we're from down here. So our whole vibe is different. All the vibe is different. Yeah,
the whole vibe different. So if I met a white boy from California from Humboldt County, California, there's real country.
Yeah, but they're also now. Don't get it twisted. I said this the other night. Don't get it twisted. We might not really get along, but if you've been to the joint like I have, them country white boys ain't nothing to fool with either. They handle their shit.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. Even if you're my enemy, don't think I don't got some kind of worry and looking over my shoulder and some respect for you.
Yeah, that's like what Hank Jr. said. We're in North California and South Alabama and little towns all around this
Exactly,
land.
little towns all across this land. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I when people talk about California, you know, it's good to know the exact locations that they're talking about. So you was talking about the county where they did Rodney King, the way they did Rodney King. Did you grow up in that county?
Bro, I grew up like 4 streets from there. Like I'm in that city.
Really?
Yeah, that's San Fernando Valley. That's my home, SFV. I'm born and raised SFV.
So San Fernando Valley is north of San Diego by what, 20 miles?
Oh hell no, a couple 100 miles. It's pretty far. It's a good 3-hour drive. Put it like that from San Diego.
Oh, okay. So that's like from the beach to Jackson, Mississippi. So
exactly,
you can make the trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's quick. It's a good half-day drive. I mean, it's a good drive. You'll knock out some time on a freeway, but it's doable.
Okay, so let me ask you this: San Diego now compared to when it was when you was growing up, how much has it changed?
San Diego or my area? San Diego?
The first San Diego.
I don't know much about San Diego. I had a bad marriage and I lived down there in the city of Oceanside when I was married. I didn't get to enjoy the city or understand it that much, but I don't know much about San Diego. I know that it's similar to LA in a lot of their urban areas. and it's also got a lot of crime ghetto. Despite people think it's like a vacation city. It's got a lot of rough spots.
Really?
Yeah. Don't get it ain't like Top Gun where you see all the fighter pilots and stuff on the beach.
Oh,
There's a lot of military stuff in that area. However, when you go off the freeway areas, there's a lot of rough shit too.
bad stuff too. And
Yeah.
so, and what was the name of the town you grew up in?
I grew up in San Fernando Valley, which I grew up
San
between two cities, Mission Hills and Sun Valley, back and forth.
Okay. How much has it changed?
Oh, it's changed a lot. I've watched it go through like get horrible to now. It seems like where I grew up, the one city, Mission Hills, kind of is urbanizing, gentrifying itself back again, getting back to how it was when I was a kid. But it went through a really bad turn. And see, the valley in Los Angeles, we're right now plagued with this homeless zombie like apocalypse that they're not dealing with, and it's becoming horrible.
Where is that at? Where did you say that was that? The Valley of what now?
The valley, I'm just let's just say the Los Angeles County as a
Okay.
whole.
Okay.
Because the valley's in Los Angeles County, but we don't really claim LA. We know we're a part of LA, but we don't really claim LA. We claim Valley. So
Okay.
like, and that whole greater LA, they're just for some reason not dealing with our homeless problem. And it's becoming like I'm not kidding when I say a zombie apocalypse epidemic.
Really?
Bro, they're everywhere. You can't walk through some streets without, there's just hundreds of tents and broken down RVs everywhere. To get into stores, you have to step through human poop. There's needles everywhere. People living in tents on the corners. It's insane.
Insane. And that's
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on and talk about it. I am totally denying the comments, man. I'm sorry, man. What's up, Diesel? What's up, Chicago? What's up, Misty? And thank y'all for coming back. It was
Yeah.
just a time thing situation here. So first and foremost, if you kind of got an idea where I'm at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not, I want to state this very clearly. I'm not out here pushing 100% sobriety. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, go and start a church. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get people off of, I'm not even trying to get people, I'm just trying to get people to realize that Suboxone was not meant to stay on forever, at least with this movement.
Well, just so you know, a lot of us who are sober, we're not trying to push a church either. Like someone like me, like I keep it gangster. I don't want to put a needle in my arm no more.
Right. Thank you. We're not never claimed to be this big monument of liberty for soberness. Just what you said, whatever that vice is, my vice was Suboxone. And I beat it. And that's my story.
What a lot of the times these people, because I sponsor people to get sober and I help men get sober, and I tell them like Suboxone is supposed to be like it's a step down, it's a taper. It's supposed to help you because when I was getting sober, I used something called gabapentin. That helped me step down for a few months. It gave me just enough of some energy and some pep and sleep good to where I could transition. But at the 6-month mark, I'll never forget my sponsor telling me, "Hey, homeboy, you've been on that shit too long. It's time to get off and man up."
Yeah.
And I had to do it. Like with Suboxone, it's designed for 4 months. I'll give you a shot of God. I'll give you a God shot. I'll give you 5 months. You should be off of that. I won't sponsor people if they're on it longer than that, because at that point you're just manipulating the system. You eventually have to learn to do some hard work. And yes, there's going to be days that are tough. There's days right now where I still feel like shit. I don't want to get out. My knees hurt. My legs hurt. Well, that's part of life, dog. That's part of getting older. You're going to have to go through some days where you just don't feel good. And these drugs like Suboxone, Subutex, and methadone, bro, they're not designed for you to get off. The drug companies didn't make them so you can get off. They designed it so they can get you hooked on something else. You go from heroin to this. Before you know it, 2 years have passed, you're still on it, and now you got to kick that.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you got to go through detoxes and withdrawals from that shit. It's not, doctors, I hate it when I hear someone tell me, well, a doctor says it's good for me. Yeah, of course he does, because he's getting a kickback from the insurance, from the drug companies. The doctors don't want you off this medication. They need you addicted to it.
Right. Yes. Oh, man. Let's see. Just to give you an example, the last sub doctor that I went to was in New Orleans. I went to New Orleans once a month.
Yeah.
It was $250 a visit.
Yeah.
Plus $250 for the prescription.
Yeah, of
so
course.
That's $500.
Do you think he wants you getting off that? No, of course he doesn't, bro.
No, there's anywhere from 11 to 28 people in the waiting room at all times. So just do the math. They're making 10 grand. Some Suboxone doctors are probably making $5 to $10 grand a week. around here.
Easy. They don't want you to
Yeah.
stop. They can't afford it
No,
if you to stop.
they can't afford it.
It's just like with their homeless problem. They got these groups called harm reduction that show up and give you needles, blankets, deodorant, food, and a tent. They don't want you to get off the street. If you got off the street or if you got off Suboxone, these companies have no more business. They're not
Right.
out there to help you. They're out there to keep you out there and tell the public, "Oh, we're doing our best." No, you're not. You're wasting people's money.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I actually heard today somewhere on the news or the radio, California has spent $24 million.
Yeah, and they
in
also
1 year.
can't find it. They can't account for
They
where it
can't
went.
find it. That's right.
Bro, you're gonna
That's
tell
right.
me 20? It's like 24 million. Where did it go? Did that just fall out of your
That's
pocket?
insane.
Yeah,
mean,
and they're trying to tell us it's changing. As I'm watching the streets fill up with more tents and RVs by the week sometimes.
well, let me ask you this though.
Yeah,
Okay, let me play devil's advocate here.
go for it.
Are all of them junkies?
I want to say on a 1 to 10, probably 9 of them are.
Nine.
There's a small percentage of them are people that are actually down on their luck, suffer from major mental illness, or people that have lost their jobs, lost everything. You know what I mean? There is
Yeah.
a small percentage, but and I'm an addict, bro, and I know because I've been out there.
Right.
I've been out there, so I'm someone who's been in the trenches. When people argue with me, you're wasting your breath, homeboy, because I've been there, dog. I'm someone you're not going to argue with. These people now have discovered there's loopholes in the laws. They can collect government money that me and you and the rest of America are paying for. They get a food card. People bring them their needles and their supplies. They just found a way to be a junkie and go urban camping. I call them urban campers. They're not homeless.
Wow.
Yeah.
Urban campers. And
Urban
they fall
campers.
asleep standing up. They go and go and go. Bro, I done went on a rip and roar
Yeah.
in a couple times in my
Yeah.
life. But I can say I've never fallen asleep standing up.
Well, I tell people all the time, in my day,
Yeah.
this type of urban camping culture wasn't allowed. My homeboys that I grew up with would whoop my ass if I'm sleeping on a park bench smoking crack. I can't begin to imagine my friends pulling up and seeing me smoke crack while So here's an example. A few months ago, I was in downtown LA taking photos for my company. There was a woman holding her child in fear because she couldn't even sit on the bus bench that was taken over by a homeless person who's smoking crack and basically naked, sitting in panties, nude. And there's a guy next to her, like playing with himself. Now, this is a scene that we see every day.
Oh wow.
This blatant, disgusting sexual behavior mixed with drugs. Not only are they doing it in public in front of the community, there's no one holding them accountable. A cop drives by, doesn't even stop. The cops have stopped too. They don't care. And then by proxy, you got this lady hiding her child that she just probably wants to sit on the bus bench to wait for the bus. She's probably worked a 12-hour day, got to get her kid home from school, and this is taking over our streets. It's not okay.
Yeah, wow. That's well, let me ask you about this. What's and everybody's got them, which is crazy, but
Yeah.
what's the gun law? What's the gun law like over there?
That's funny because my girlfriend's from Oregon. She has guns up the ass. We can't even look at guns or we get arrested out here. I mean, you can, if you have a license, you can get a gun, but the cops ain't playing with guns. They don't really want us Californians having guns.
You know what I believe? This is what I think.
Yeah.
And this is not my idea. This is an idea that a sheriff had one time.
Yeah.
He said, "You want to know how to stop all the armed? If they had a problem with armed robberies, he said, you
Yeah.
want to know how to stop the armed robberies? Give the citizens guns. When the citizens start killing gang members,
Yeah.
that's when they'll. That's when they'll.
Well, that's actually pretty good. There's two things I can say. Number one, the reason we have such an anti-gun problem in California is because there are so many gangs. In the city of Los Angeles alone, there's probably 700 gangs per few square miles. I'm talking like sometimes in LA, every other block is filled with a 500 to 1,000 man gang.
Right.
So now divide that by Mexicans and blacks, and then you have Asians as well. So you have an intense overpopulation with gangs in our urban areas. That's number one, why the cops can't tolerate guns in everybody's hands. Number two, you think of what Florida had a great idea too. Florida said, fucking shoot them. I'll never forget that interview a couple weeks ago where the sheriff is like, oh, you robbed someone's house? Cool. We're telling all of our citizens to shoot them if you come on the property.
That's right.
But they're also, their crime statistics are down over there. They don't have every gang per square block like we do. It's easier for you guys in your states to do that because you don't have our gang problem. If all of our gang members had access to all these gangs, oh man, it'd be Vietnam on the streets.
Yeah. So y'all's gangs, like you know,
Make it harder for the rest of us to own firearms.
but they have semi-automatic weapons, fully automatic weapons, extension
Yeah.
clips.
I don't know how they get stuff like that. I mean, I finally gave up. I'm a felon. I'm not allowed to have one. I just gave up. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just find it so crazy that the more you place laws against guns in a place like
Yeah.
Chicago, the gun violence goes up like New Orleans, right
Yeah.
next door to New Orleans. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I got this clip right here. I'm gonna show real quick, and I'd like for you to expand on it too.
All right, go for it.
Kind of goes what we fall into what we're saying now.
Long time when you're locked in solitary confinement like I've been, a book can free you from that prison. I read the Count of Monte Cristo, the unabridged version. That's like almost 1,500 pages. This book, I was in France on a journey for 6 months of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to get a copyright. Now, I played the video earlier in the stream, and I had my homeboy who was up. He did 7 years in Alabama.
Yeah.
And so here's my thing. I know what you're talking about. You're right. I was in lockdown. I read a Western. I know what you're talking about. However, don't it though in your subconscious, in the outer realm, don't it feel, even though I'm reading this book and I'm not here, you still feel the brick walls around you though?
I mean, for the most part, yes, you technically do, but I did a lot of solitary confinement due to where I was and what I was involved in. And if my mom didn't send me books, I would have gone mad. I probably would have caught new case after new case because my choices where I was violence, drugs, gambling, and books. I was in some bad places, and those books changed my life. I can't begin to tell you that honestly. Like, I mean, Danny Trejo commented on that. He sent me he commented on that. Like,
I seen that.
those books freed us, dog. Like that book I was talking about. That's a big ass classic book about revenge and someone taking their time to plot it out and plan it. And it really it sets you free when you're in prison. So for like, I say 6 months just to be funny because it was like I was on a journey, but like that book I read it probably in like a few days. So like every day I would sit up there reading and reading and reading when we're on lockdown. It was just amazing.
Yeah, I know. I see these inmates that are always reading. It's like I had to force myself to read. I put down 2 books. One book I finally picked up, and it was a Western, and it was really good. And it did take me out. You know, we were on the tier system. I don't know if y'all have the tier system wherever you was.
No, what do you mean tier? We have an upper tier and lower tier.
Well, you got upper tier and lower tier, but we had the tier system, which is basically 17-hour lockdown. So the bottom tier is locked down for 17 hours. Then when that's done, then the top tier comes out and the bottom tier goes in. So the top or bottom, they're not out at the same time.
Okay, well, not in prison. It was programmed up and down together. If there was an incident, they would lock us down. But for the most part, we have morning yard, night yard, afternoon yard. We have day room times. Yeah. We're out all day in our California prison systems.
Well, hold on. When you say, okay, so the people who listening that's never been to prison understand, you have dorm prisons where, you know, it's wide open.
Those are for lower level, lower worrisome inmates go to dorms.
Right. And then you have actual what they've probably seen in the movies. We
have what's called a level 4 yards that are 270 or 180 design. Now 180 and 270s are different because how closer the gunner is to you. In the 180, you're like maximum just released from a lockdown program where they're monitoring you highly. The gunner has a closer shot to you. The windows for the gunner tower are closer to your cell. It's bigger cells for you because you're in them more, but the whole program is designed closer to the gunner, the tower. The 270 gives you a little bit more separation from that to where you have a little bit more freedom but you're still a high level inmate.
Yeah.
And it basically looks like an upside down U. If you picture me as the gunner, you've got like a horseshoe in front of you like that to where it's all ABC section.
Yeah. And it's so crazy to be to serve time in a prison when there's actual a gunner in the gun tower because all the prisons I went to, I was at Rankin County, which was pretty rough. I've seen some shit there, and they never had gunners in the gun. It was like a waste of time that nobody was ever in the gun tower.
Well, even in those dorm settings, like I was mentioning, they might be lower levels, but there's still a gunner even there as well. I'm pretty sure they have gun towers also. California, again, I can't stress it enough. It's an extremely dangerous place to be, and people around the world won't understand the level that we play at. Now, no disrespect to any city, any
Yeah,
county, any state. However, I am from California, and we play at a level that far exceeds the tempo in a lot of other states.
yeah. I know I would get killed if I come to California. I know I'd get killed.
Oh, because of what we talked about on the phone.
Yeah, because of what we talked about on
Yeah.
the phone. And so,
Again, though, remember, there's a lot of people now that so many people have transferred federally and around the world. You'd probably have a lot of more people that would understand it. But yes, I do agree. You might have to worry a little bit.
yeah, I mean, but you know, that's the life you chose to live, or the
Yeah.
life you think you want to live
Yep.
at that
Yeah.
time, you know.
Yeah.
And so when you was going through this though, what was it, you know, people call this gangs, and I get it. The Crips
Yeah.
and the Bloods are their gangs.
Yeah.
But actually, if you actually look at some of this stuff, we're actually organizations with rules and laws and bylaws. And so when you was coming up, was it like that, or was it wild?
Well, I started with graffiti. Now, graffiti is my the love of my life, the thing I wish I never quit. From my graffiti crews turned into a gang. The gang evolved into something serious after I was already in prison. It kind of stretched. When I got jumped in, it was just a simple street gang. It evolved more politically after I'm already in prison.
Okay,
So I was already in prison. I already went to prison with the whites. Everybody else around me, before me, they ran with a different group.
Right. Okay. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. So by the time you hit the penitentiary, the rules will
Well, no,
start.
it starts for us in the county jail. See, when I went to county jail, I was 18 years old. I was young. I was scared. And here's another thing. I love it when I hear these guys talk about how tough they are. Homeboy, when you're a little kid and you're about 17, turning 18, you hit the county jail. I don't give a fuck how big you are, how tough you are. You are nervous. I was nervous, dog. I get sent to a dorm where there's 1,000 people. I can still close my eyes and smell the shower soap, dude, and I can hear the sounds. You can hear dudes calling their moms, their babies, begging their mom for money. Dudes crying on the phone because his girl's gonna leave him. You got dudes over here getting beat up. Dudes over there getting smashed. Dudes playing cards. I can hear the dominoes smashing.
The domino slamming.
Yeah, I can still smell it. I can hear it. I can smell it. These are things that you will never forget your first time in a huge jail setting. And my brain has never let go of it. And
Never.
I was scared. I mean, you're not scared like I'm running around like hiding, but like, in the back of your head, dog, be on your fucking toes. You're in a serious environment right now.
Yes. There's no small talk.
No, there's no small talk. And I'll never forget a dude. Now, mind you, I'm from a gang. I'm from an active street gang at that point. And this dude approaches me and he's like, "Hey, homeboy, what race are you?" That was the only question I was ever asked. I wasn't asked. He said, "What race are you?" And I said, "I'm a white boy." He goes, "Get your shit. Come with me." It was that quick, that easy. You had 30 seconds to make a decision that forever changed the course of your prison history.
Yeah. See I would be killed right there.
Well, but I also understood, like I said, in California, we have rules. Yes, I'm from a gang, but I am also a white boy, and I've never been confused about being a white boy. I'm happy. I'm proud to be white, but I'm not racist. But I might be from a gang, but there's also a difference for me. And like, well, I'm a white boy, but my gang is separate. So I made that decision. Some people didn't like it. Some people did. I don't care.
Yeah. But I heard in the California prison system, that decision will be pretty much made for you, you know.
Well, I mean, not really. It depends. Like, even I believe in I don't know how your situation would be, because I've seen dudes like run with this group and get to jail. Like, well, I'm white, and they just shut that down. It all depends on I think how you carry yourself. But certain things like anti-racial things or interracial gangs and shit like that is always going to be an issue in California.
Yeah. I'm seeing that now.
Yeah.
When I went to pre-release camp,
Yeah.
when I was in Parchman, I've seen some shit there just because it was pre-release. Boy, some of them people didn't have no sense. But my best friend, there was three of us, actually four of us, but there was three of us, was an AB named Peanut, and a four-corner hustler named Earl, and a Blood. And that's what we hung out with each other. We didn't hang out with our organizations. We hung out together. And that blew my mind. This man is, AB. He was explaining to me the difference between AB and Aaron Nation and he was all that. And Earl, Four Corner Hustler, stabbed a couple people while he was in there, had a very well known reputation. It was just part of his life. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of people don't realize, like I told you on the phone, those are groups Now, mind you, I'm not going to speak for everyone here. I'm going to keep this real short.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot more of us that prison isn't like Netflix wants you to believe. There's like, yes, there's racism. Yes, there's segregation. Yes, there's groupings of gangs and races. However, behind the scenes, believe it or not, we all network some form or another and work together. I don't care what anyone's going to tell you, how racist you are, how down for your hood you are. That's all fine and dandy. Run your program however you need to. However, the big dogs all work together.
Yeah.
If there's a war going on, yes, there'll be a war going on. But don't think that some of us aren't still friends and know how to be respectful and do business and hang out together, like you just said. Because there was a guy, I'll never forget, his name was Jinx from San Bernardino. He was a black guy, he was a Crip, solid motherfucker. And every time there was an issue or something happened, this dude had my back because we just were like, a gangster will recognize a gangster. It really don't matter what race you are when it comes to these situations. Gangsters recognize gangsters.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and you could be in any race, any situation. Dudes that conduct themselves a certain way will always gravitate towards each other. And this dude, like, we just built a friendship, and I still talk to him today. You know what I mean? Like, he's not ever coming home, but like he was able to look out for me and help me in some ways that were like very, very detrimental and important to my safety and our friendship.
Yeah.
And these are the relationships that you build, like you just said, and you never forget these things. These things last lifetimes too. Because you
Yeah.
basically, it's like being in the military. You go to war with people, you're friends for life, dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boy, you said a mouthful then. I don't know. Was it you that I was talking on the phone? I was telling somebody asked something when I got out of prison, they asked, what was it like? Did you have to fight all the time? What did was it rough? Was it tough? But was it like, what was it like? What's the
Yeah.
hardest part about prison? And this is what I say till my dying breath. This is the hardest part about serving time in prison. You'll meet somebody, you'll get to know somebody, you share a bunk with them, shower with them, shit with them, shave with them, eat with them, fight with them, and for years or months. And then you'll wake up one morning and there's an empty bunk there, and
Yeah.
you'll never see that person again in your life. That was hard.
That was definitely hard for me because I got a lot of friends. A couple of my friends have just recently come home after 35 years because California's now finally giving lifers a chance to come home. Yeah, they're changing their program, and they have right now a zero recidivism rate where they've let home some major made guys that are murderers, running whole organizations. And believe it or not, no one, from what I understand, I think maybe only one person, which still keeps the percentage at zero. No one is reoffending, and that person only reoffended on drugs.
Wow.
Everyone else that they've let go, all the killers, some of these major members, they're all just like, hey, dog, just let me go in the woods and get a job, and I'll grow my own food. People have been so happy to come out of those holes and those shoe programs they had designed. That
Whoa.
people are home, just living their life, blended into the world with construction jobs and shit, and just said, hey, I'm thank you, I'm good.
Yeah. So did you spend time in the valley? Did you spend time in San Bernardino or?
No, I mean, I'm in the valley. I grew up in the valley. I was born and raised in the valley, but not San Bernardino. That's on the other side of LA.
So they don't have a state penitentiary in the valley?
No, they have one in Lancaster, which is on the outskirts of LA County, up in the Antelope Valley.
Now, San Quentin is an island off of California, right?
San Quentin is up north somewhere. I've never been. I never did time up north. I did most of my time down south.
Okay, so which one is what is the penitentiary that's on that island? Right.
Come on, that's Alcatraz. I don't think that's. Yeah, that's a museum now. You go there as a museum.
Yeah, it's been shut down for years and years. Yeah. But California is full of I guess regional and state and private facilities.
Bro, we have what, 36 or 37 prisons? I think it's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're a prison industry state. Like, you understand the PIA jobs, the prison industry jobs that are in all these prisons. We make eyeglasses, bars of soap. You would be surprised how much money these prisons produce for the state of California.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a whole industry.
It's an industry, dog.
I think, and I know in Mississippi, the federal government pays the state. I think when I was in there, it was like $85 a day or something per inmate, or I could be wrong.
I got into an argument on a podcast I did a couple weeks ago with a guy who said I was talking about the homeless thing, and he referred me to, well, you're just as bad because my tax dollars pays, I think it's like $70,000 or something a year to house one of us with food, hygiene, water, power, electricity, everything, clothing. It runs something like that too. I was blown away by that figure.
Wow. So that was his argument?
Well, because we were talking about the homeless thing, kind of like me and you were, and this guy called in on the show, and he's like, "Well, how do you have the right to make fun of someone when you're the same thing as a criminal and being a drain on society? My tax dollars had to pay for your incarceration." And my response was, "Well, I mean, technically you're right, but you're not going to compare me. I was a criminal. I did my time, and I've changed my life. I don't like being compared to someone who jacks off and smokes crack in front of women and children on the street."
Well, being an inmate inside of a secured facility that's no threat to the community is
Thank you.
different.
That's what I should have said right there. Being an inmate that is not a threat to the community. These guys are allowed in LA to be threats constantly to the community.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Once again, I when I was growing up, I looked at California like the perfect place to live. And the guy that taught me how to do my job now, the job that I do now,
Yeah.
he lived in California and got married in California, bought a house in California, and was here wound up getting a divorce and moving back here. But he used to tell me these great stories about California and how the beaches and the girls. Oh man, the girls.
If you're a millionaire,
yeah.
I mean, hell, even $1 million ain't shit today. If you're a billionaire, you'd live in California. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm born and raised California. I would rather live where you live than live here. My girlfriend's from Oregon. Oregon is a beautiful state. I'd rather be up there. Like,
really?
It's an arm and a leg to do anything, to rent. It's ungodly to get a house, to rent a house, to do anything in California. It kills you financially.
Wow. I don't see how they do it. I don't see how y'all do it, man.
If I had enough money, I would move to another state, but
yeah. So you was saying on that one podcast about the gang units would arrest you for putting a sticker on a park bench.
So that was the city of Burbank back in the early 90s. It's a secure community in San Fernando Valley, which is really nice. They don't play around.
Oh, I've definitely heard of Burbank. If you ain't heard of Burbank, then
yeah.
I mean, I heard it's a really nice place.
It's a really nice city in the San Fernando Valley. Yeah, that's where I would love to eventually move to if I could.
So, is the police like extremely rough in Burbank, or?
Well, the police in Burbank have always been that way, and they always will be because they keep their community nice. But the cops have kind of been lax over the years. They've stopped. Something happened where they stopped even arresting people. You basically have to get caught for like rape, murder, or any type of violence to be arrested today. And that goes along with that homeless thing. Like I said, the cops have driven by, watched people smoking crack and injecting meth, or like masturbating on corners. The cops don't arrest anybody.
What?
We finally got a new DA who's trying to change that in California, but for a while now it's been really bad where they're not holding anybody accountable. In my day, in the 90s, bro, we had what we call crash unit, like on that movie Training Day, where they will not only set you up, but they'll beat your ass, put fucking a gun in your car, and send you to prison for life. They didn't play.
What?
Well, yeah, that movie Training Day is actually about a cop I knew, so that's a true story.
Training Day is a true story.
So Training Day is a group of crash unit Rampart Division cops. The actor Denzel Washington plays one of the cops. You can Google it. His name is Rafael Perez from Rampart Division. Denzel happens to look almost exactly like this guy. So the guy that Denzel plays, though, is the other cop who's a short little light-skinned Mexican guy named Ruben. They just switched the characters for the movie because Denzel looks like, and he's a good actor, he looks like the second guy. There was a group of those cops that went around setting people up and whooping ass. And the story this guy told me, because I did a podcast with the guy Ruben, he said they started out by doing the right thing to protect the community, but in the process, they had to break the law to save the community. So imagine you're starting to break the rules you're sworn to protect, but you're doing it for the right reasons, but in the process, you lose sight of what you're supposed to do, and you become just like the gang members you're fucking with.
An animal yourself.
And that's the Training Day theory. Like the guy becomes an animal but he was in the beginning intending to do right, but it just spiraled out of control.
You know, that movie influenced me so much. I wish I had a picture. I drove a 1985 sky blue Buick Regal with 150 spoke knockoff rims,
bro. And those are my favorites. That one in that movie, that 79 Monte Carlo. Whew,
man,
I would give my leg for that, dog. Man.
That was a 79. You hit it on the head.
It was a 79 Monte Carlo. I believe it was a luxury sport too.
Yeah, I think it was a luxury sport. My brother, before he was murdered, my brother was a Latin King. He was murdered. Yeah. He had an 85 Monte Carlo SS with 150 spoke knockoff
Was it a
with T
what
tops.
super sport with T tops? Oh my god.
And he
You
had
know
that
oh, that's a
Yeah, go
badass
ahead.
fucking car, dog. That's
yeah,
my dream is to get back to one of those, or hear me out. Hear me out. I want an 87 Buick Grand National or like an 83 El Camino Super Sport. Those are like, man, I gotta
They're
have one of those one day.
they're damn near the same car. A Grand
Yeah.
National and a Monte Carlo, a Regal. I mean,
Yeah.
they're what they call unibodies. They call
In LA,
unibody.
we call them G bodies. They're big bodies.
Oh, that's might be what it is. G body.
Yeah.
I
We
might
call
have
them
that
G bodies out
confused.
here. Put the big rims on it, big ass 22-inch Dayton's on them.
Right.
Yep.
Hey, my Regal, 85 Regal
Yeah.
with the 150 spoke knockoff rims. So these are
Yeah.
like 14-inch tires on it,
Yeah, they're
right?
Dayton's. We call them Dayton's out here in
Dayton's,
California.
they're Dayton's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
Dayton's. Ran a low 14.25 mile
And you
with
would
those.
race that on those small tires? Man, I would
Yes.
never. Man, that's crazy. Wow.
I got a guy named Dome.
Adam Dome. Yeah, that's my boy.
Okay, hold on here.
What the fuck?
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
What's cracking?
Not much. Just shooting the shit with my boy over here.
That's right. I heard you guys talking about some Dayton's.
Yeah, we're talking about Dayton's. We're not talking about buttholes. We're talking about rims.
Do we get to do we get to the Monte Carlos yet?
You just
Yes.
missed it, bro. Me and him were just talking about that. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That's right.
What have you had some nice ones?
No, not yet, but that's my dream car.
Yeah.
Struggle. You was talking about Struggle. Struggle
Yep.
wrote a song called Monte Carlo
Did he really?
about 3 months ago. Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have
And
to
they
check
shot
that out.
it's got a white, it's like a pearl white Monte Carlo with pearl
Mm.
white interior with a white steering wheel and hardwood. It's nice, man.
Wow. What kind of interior did you have in your Regal? Was it the soft kind, the little plush?
I had a couch.
Ooh, man, those are nice, dude. Man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like riding down the road. If you're not careful, it'll put you to sleep, man.
Yeah. Those cars are so smooth. They all got 8 cylinders too, big engines.
We built mine. I put 4 engines in, and I had crate 350s.
Oh, okay. Okay, right on.
Yeah,
There you go.
I put 4 crate 350s. Only reason we put 4 is because they sent one with boat head motors. My uncle caught that. My
Oh,
uncle
okay.
caught that. He said, "You see the V stamp on this head right here?" I said,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He was like, That's backwards, wrong with it, blah 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 blah, whatever. Those are boat head motors. Send that motor back."
Oh, okay.
And he was right. We send it back. They sent us a free one.
Oh, dope. Right on.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
learned something that day. So what's up, Dom? Where are you from, man?
I'm I'm in Simi Valley right now, California.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been all around Southern California my whole life.
I got sober. Me and Adam, we've been best friends for a while. I got sober with him.
Okay. I'm 3 days with no Suboxone.
Nice. Oh, you're probably
Today,
hating
yeah.
your life right now.
No, it's been a 2-month, 3-day battle.
Okay.
But so I've been, everybody told me, and I'm not knocking anybody. It's just what you do is what you do, But everybody told me use kratom to get off Suboxone. Use kratom. And so I did, but then it became its own little habit within itself.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like synthetic heroin, dog. That's a bad recommendation. Me and him used to run a sober living together, and we'd tell people you can't. We're not. I don't care if the smoke shop sells it. You're not doing it. We were like, it's bad. It's bad for you.
Right.
We had guys snorting lines of that shit off the table,
Yeah.
like 3 feet long. They're
Yeah,
snorting
that's
it.
That's how
They
bad
were
it.
snorting kratom,
They're
Yes,
snorting
bro.
kratom.
Bro, California's got some wild people. I'm telling you, bro.
bro. That is you want to get.
Hey,
high
tell
fast.
my friend what you were telling me. What did the doctor tell you? It's doing the Suboxone is doing what to your body?
Yeah. So basically, what happened to me was quick story. December of last year, I had already been diagnosed with degenerative back disease at 35. I'm 38 now, so that was 3 years ago. So December of last year, I'm playing football in the yard. I fall, I hurt my back. The next day, I can't get out of the bed, so I go to the emergency room. They take X-rays, give me a steroid. The doctor comes back in, he puts my X-rays up, and he's looking at it, and he says, "You have a lot of calcium deposits in your vertebrae." where the vertebrae has naturally tried to repair itself. And I told him, I said, I know that. I was diagnosed with degenerative back disease at 35. And he says, that's too young to have degenerative back disease. He says, how long you been on the Suboxone? And I said, I've been on it 15 years. He said, if you don't get off of it, you're going to be in a wheelchair in 3 or 4 years. The
Yeah,
buprenorphine.
I heard it pulls the calcium out of your teeth.
Yeah. You'll
Yeah,
lose.
yeah, I just heard that also.
Yeah, you'll lose your teeth. But this stuff was eating my rib cage. It's eating my neck. It's eating the lower part, my lumbar section of my back, and probably I know the middle part of my back because there were calcium deposits there. But my neck was literally collapsing in on me. And now that I've quit, it's been a 2-month journey, and now it's been 3 days with nothing. My neck and my back, I want to fight. I tried to fight Hosers in June, my dumbass. It hadn't hurt at all. It was 1,000% the Suboxone, man. It's called opioid-induced osteoporosis.
Bro, that's why I tell people it's designed to get you on and off in a couple months as they taper you down slowly. I mean, a lot of people can do it in like 2 or 3 weeks, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's designed to help you get off of a bigger. It's not a drug that they should be prescribing. Whoever's doing this, they're just making money. They don't have any well-being for your health or your longevity. Nothing.
No, it's the doctor's ticket to a revolving door.
Yep. Thank you, Adam. That's exactly right. The doctor's ticket to a revolving door. You have all these rehabs and sober livings. Everybody's jumping on it because they're all getting kickbacks. It's a big old funneling network right now.
Yeah. I think we just did the math. At $250 a patient, the last doctor I went to had anywhere from 17 to like 25 people in there at all times, once a week.
Dude. Can you imagine, Adam, all of our sober livings and rehabs just doing that to all their clients?
Just to write some scripts.
Yep, write some scripts. Boom. It's crazy,
Wow.
dude.
Yeah. I will say it is a challenge. It's getting better, but it is a challenge to wake up every morning and my body wants to take something, it wants to ingest something somehow because it feels like it's not ready to go until we do,
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's over,
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part. I was telling you, we all got to do some hard work when we get clean.
Yeah.
Some days are going to suck. Some days are going to be good. What shows the test of who you are is how I get through this day, because it's going to suck anyway. So let's just do it. But let's not get high or use something that's going to force me to get through it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also look at it like, okay, if I fail and I wind up using, then I'm going to have to go through that withdrawal. You're eventually going to have to pay the piper,
Yeah, you're going to have to go through regardless. Just why not just get through it quicker? Yeah.
Just end it, don't just have and so now that my body's restoring its natural energy, all of a sudden it's like all this shit has to happen around the house. The eaves have to be painted, the deck has to be rebuilt, the yard needs to be mowed.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting energy to do all this stuff again, and it's but it's taking some toll. But I've had so many people. Let me brag on my supporters for a minute. I've had so many people that have shared their story with me and impacted me. I had people drive from Indiana all the way down to Jackson, Mississippi, just to shake my hand, come to one of our shows. And the guy told me when he got there, he said, "You have encouraged my wife to cut back." He told me the milligrams, like 2 she's down to 2 milligrams, and encouraged him to cut back from 18 to like 8,
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. He said, so I'm hoping that everybody has their own story and their own recovery, but I'm hoping that we all help somebody somewhere collectively. I got a message today. The guy told me today, "Hey, dude, I'm finna quit in 2 or 3 days."
Right on. Well, I'm hoping that, because Adam will tell you, this is something that I speak highly about in our groups, in our rehabs, in our meetings, and nobody really gives a fuck because they use a statement like you just said. There's a statement that I don't like that goes around. We don't take people's inventory, and everybody's recovery is everybody's recovery. However, we're all a part of that together, and we all work together. So I come to want to challenge and change that because I feel like it's my job to confront you, dog. It's my job. I'm not punching you, but it's my job to be like, nah, dog, that's bullshit. You really ain't sober yet. Get off that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have to do this, or else before you know it, we're gonna have the next 2 or 3 generations of people getting sober, or they're not really sober, and now we've lost the foundations of our program where people are just on drugs. They're on because they're registered drugs through pharmacies and doctors. That's the new justification. Well, a doctor says it's okay, so I'm going to do this dependency now. You know?
Yeah. The doctors just found out how much the drug dealer was making.
Yeah, exactly. And they sidestepped it. Yeah,
And then they tripled it.
yeah, and they tripled it, Adam. You're right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Exactly, because the insurance company said, "Wait a minute, we got to make some money here too.
We need a cut of this. Yeah,
We need a
exactly.
cut of this too." Yeah, and then the
I had a
FDA
buddy. I had a buddy recently who got off fentanyl. He used Suboxone for 2-3 months, tapered down. He still had like a whole bunch of them left. He's all, here, hold on to these for me, when just in case I feel bad. And I said, okay. And I put them up in my cabinet. And he came to me like 3 weeks later. He goes, Adam, you still have those? I said, yeah, let's flush them down the toilet. And we
good.
cut them
Fuck yeah.
up, and we flushed him, and he had no more
Right
access
on.
to them anymore. And he did out of mind, out of sight. You know what I mean?
Right on. Awesome.
Yeah, that's something that I'd never understood. This is something that's come along after my time of running the streets. Fentanyl.
Yeah, it's after both of us too. That's some new shit.
I'm hearing like nothing but bad shit about it, but yet people still use it though.
Bro, people are lining up to try it. It doesn't sound like there's no good benefits of this drug at all, and people are waiting in line to try it.
It's dirt cheap.
And I mean, imagine you're stuck bent over after you do some of this shit for 6 hours. Like, how can that possibly be fun?
Wow.
For $1.50.
Yeah. And it's super dangerous. This is why we speak out about these programs that want to show up and give you clean needles. Bro, nobody cares about clean needles. That one clean needle could kill this fucking guy with how dangerous this shit is.
Yeah, that clean needle was a problem in the 90s.
Yeah.
We got bigger problems now.
Yeah, we got bigger problems. Stop handing out those needles. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And I seen a picture of the little box, I think, that was claimed to be handed out in California. And I get what they're trying to do. It's a public safety thing, blah, 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 blah.
But here's the thing, though, not to interrupt you, but to interrupt you, people, they're trying to claim it stops the spread of disease. They're not, because these idiots they're giving them to, you can't give someone who's mentally unstable a bunch of needles and ask them to use them safely. They're leaving the needles everywhere on the street. There's no sharps containers. Where are you disposing of them at? They're all over the streets. So now you're saying this guy who wants to get high and shit on the corner is more important than the family that needs to go to work and walk through the park on the weekend.
Right. It's the same
You're
thing.
endangering the public. It's not stopping the spread of disease at all.
No, it ain't. It's not at all. You're right. It's the same thing. It's the same thing in New Orleans too. I never will forget when I was walking in the Shell station. I looked down and there was a needle down there.
That's crazy, bro.
And in the wars, like the 3rd ward and the 9th ward, they got kids playing barefooted. You know.
Yeah, that's. My girlfriend's from Oregon, and they had that whole policy in Portland where they just made it legal and they sold drugs legally in stores for a while, and that sure backfired on them.
That was Oregon that did that?
Yeah, it turned Portland into a war zone, dude.
Oh, no, wait a minute. So how did it backfire on them?
Because by proxy, you had a zombie apocalypse. Their freeways and cities were taken over with thousands upon thousands of junkies moving there, and they lost control of their city after those riots that happened with what were those riots they had? They had those riots with George Floyd or something with the Black Lives Matter. It turned it into a war zone.
Chop City?
Is that what it was?
Chop. Yeah, I think so.
I'm sorry, I lost service for a minute, fellas.
It was Portland, Oregon, or something. I know it was downtown Portland.
They took over the Capitol building in there too.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I think it was called Chop.
Yeah.
So during this time when this was going on, drugs were legal in Oregon.
From what my girlfriend said, something to the effect of they started making it legal, giving it to them. It was okay. They just let them do it everywhere. They decriminalized it. They sold it. That's insane, bro.
They created safe shooting zones where you could.
Yeah, you can't. And they did this in front of the public. Like, at least in my day, I would hide somewhere to do drugs. I could never do it in front of people.
Right.
That's not okay, bro.
That's crazy. So it's just like I don't know if it's political power or straight just not knowing what they're doing.
Well, you can't let people deal with drug problems that haven't done drugs. So I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat, Republican, if you're a politician, if you've never been through the trenches like me. And just so you know, this guy right here, Adam's my sponsor. So if you haven't been an addict, you have no business. I don't care. No college, no school, no trade tech course you're going to take is going to teach you about drugs and alcohol. If you
Right.
haven't been an addict or an alcoholic, you have no business working in that field. I'm sorry. I don't care what your psychology license says. That you're a psychologist. You ain't no drug addict. You don't understand because you always want to help people. There are some times in life where you have to be like, I can't help you, dog. I have to walk away from you. You have to let people fall down sometimes. You have to turn your back and tell people, I can't help you until you stop using drugs. And that's what we need to do. You have to go back to arresting them, holding them accountable, and let them know that this behavior is not okay. And that's when people will start to stop and the homeless population will decrease.
Do you see that happening?
Abs- I, I don't know the way, not in California. California is too fucking weird.
So you don't
Dude,
see
there
it
was
happening in California?
There
What
was
you
the
say?
mayor, R. Rex Paris, recently did an interview, and he said, "Give them all as much fentanyl as they want."
Oh yeah, the guy in Lancaster, the mayor said that.
Yep.
Wow.
That would
He
just kill. I mean, that would probably just kill people. I just think the solution is you have to arrest them. You have to hold them accountable. The cops don't want them in jails because they're so filthy. Oh well, that's your job. You're a cop. You signed up for that. You know what I'm saying? The rest, we shouldn't have to deal with it on the street because you don't want to house them in jail. It's
Is that-
illegal. When I was a kid, I got arrested for marijuana. Now it's sold on every corner in dispensaries.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's crazy,
Yeah.
ain't it? It's,
Yeah, I think one time I got arrested. It was a felony too. Like, come on now, bro.
yeah. I did time with a guy on his own. His third
Yeah.
his third felon. You know, you get 3 felonies, it's over.
You're out.
with.
Yeah, yeah.
His third one was a weed charge. He had an ounce of weed. Now
Wow.
he's serving life in prison for an ounce of weed.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now you can go. You can legally own 2 ounces of weed in Mississippi now.
Well,
if you
in
got-
LA, they're on the dispensaries are on almost every corner, so you can just go to liquor store and go next door to buy weed everywhere.
Do you got to have a medical card?
Nope, not anymore. That's how it started. Now they even cut that out.
So it's just recreational.
Yeah, and then they sell some high, and that's not the marijuana that we grew up with that someone grew in a yard. This is some strong ass, high powered shit. The edibles are putting people. The edibles are giving people psychosis.
It's hippie
Oh, I
crap.
believe-
It's like crystal weed. It's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like crystallized weed. Yeah, it's chemically treated. It's bad.
It'll give you anxiety and
Yep.
I remember when did y'all have this spice pandemic come out?
We
Where
had
people-
some of that. I didn't follow it too much, but it did come out. Yeah.
Have you ever smoked spice?
No, thank God. You did, Adam?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Fuck that.
I never had no crazy ass weird trip where I thought I was gonna die like other people, but
You didn't?
nope.
Oh my God! Fuck that! It happened to me 3 times when spice first came out. It was supposed to be a thing that you smoked if you were on papers or parole, so you could pass a drug test for THC
Or in the military.
or the military. They got crazy with it and began to make it stronger and stronger and stronger to see how high, and so then it gave you psychosis. And so this happened to me, 2 or 3 times. The third time it happened to me, I was like, I'll never do this again. However,
Yeah.
now
Well-
when I smoke the weed y'all are talking about now, how strong it is, I think it triggers that back again. And it's like not even worth it.
Well, that's why I tell people that I mess with in recovery. You can't smoke weed either. I'm sorry. It's not. You're getting high. You just can't do it. You're not sober until you stop smoking weed. That's a lot of people in my group feel the same way. It's too strong. It's not old weed. It's dangerous.
Yeah, I still smoke, but I'm beating these things one battle at a time.
Yeah.
I should stop because I'm trying to start back singing again.
Yeah.
So I know that'll probably help that situation. But
Oh, you know what? Smoke some weed, bro. And
You're not helping, Adam.
I think he froze.
I think he froze. Yeah, he's an electrician. He works at the big at one of the stadiums in LA.
Oh, really? I'm an
Yeah.
electrician.
Oh yeah, Adam's an electrician. Adam, he's gone. Yeah, he's an electrician too.
Yeah, man. I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, man. when I was going through withdrawals a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
with the chest tingling thing and everything, I went out in the front porch and smoked some weed, and it wasn't the high powered, you can get 85% THC, 45%. It was just normal, and it really helped with the chest tingling. Like it helped, with that. And so
I got a lot of friends. It helps with their anxiety. It helps with their depression. It helps with a lot of stuff. It even gives a lot of the tattoo artists I know some creativity boost. So
right.
Yeah.
But you're right. A person is not technically drug free.
Yeah.
And
again, I don't knock nobody, whatever, you know what I mean? But if you're asking me and you want me to sponsor you, you can't smoke pot, because I don't smoke weed. It's you're still getting high.
Right.
Even if it helps with your struggle. I mean, that's okay. A lot of my friends do, but they don't identify as sober either.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't, that's been my whole thing. I've never identified as sober. I've never said, hey, the doctor didn't come in the emergency room that night and say, you need to get sober. He said, you need to get off these Suboxones.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that don't need to be sober. Like, you know how bad I wish I could just have a beer on the weekends, or on St. Patrick's Day have some whiskey. I don't, because I'm an addict, and I know damn well that I'll drink alcohol addictively like I shot dope. So I just don't want to take the chance for myself.
Right. And that's what a true addict is. And it took me almost 40 years to understand what a true addict is. I probably would still be married if I understood it is a disease. And I personally feel it's a disease.
Yes, I agree with you.
A lot of people don't think it's a disease.
Some of us have it and some of us don't. Some of us, not everybody suffers from that affliction.
Right. Some people can take a Lortab and put the pill bottle up and forget it exists in their house.
Yep.
If you give me a bottle of Lortabs, I'll probably get them back to you because that ain't gonna do nothing. But at one time, if you'd have gave me a bottle of Lortabs, the whole bottle would have been gone in a day.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. I got to finish everything off, and I'm going on to something else.
Yeah. Just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But hey, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I didn't know we was gonna do 2 lives tonight, but that's cool, man.
That's awesome.
We got some of them to come back, so I appreciate you coming on live. I wanted to push your message and stuff because what you done really made an impact on me, man. That podcast you did.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out. Like I said, me and my girl check out your music. I like your music. I like talking to you. I had a great time. I'm really grateful you brought me on here, bro. Anytime you want me back, or any of my people, you got access to anybody I got.
Yeah. I'd like to talk to that person you was talking about hooking me up with.
David, my homeboy Lonely, just came home from prison for 30 years. Murder, sober, works. He's a dog trainer. I got some good people for you.
Yeah, okay, I'm down because I want to hear these people's story. I want to hear what their journey. We could sit around and talk about the country rap genre, but I'm done because ain't nobody swung at nobody. And it's just looks stupid at this point. Yeah. So
you're gonna keep me up on that because send me anything you got because I like that shit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, basically, the biggest artist in country rap hates my guts, and so.
Who is this?
A guy by the name of Ryan Upchurch.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if you heard of him or not. But
I have heard of him. I don't know much about him, but I've heard the name.
Bloodhound is a much better artist.
Bloodhound. All right. I fuck with Bloodhound then.
All right, man. Hey, it was good for you to come on, brother.
Thank you, brother. Anytime.
I will have you back. I might hit you up in a couple weeks to schedule it. I definitely want to have you back, but I do want to see if get you to might holler at your boy for me.
I would love to. I'll jump on that tonight for you.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on here, brother.
Thank you, chat. Bye, chat. Love y'all.
Thank you, everybody. Later.
You are now listening to Anyway Well.
Well, please get me back on track. Hide ideas, break away from the mess. Here's a wooden packer when you see a black and decker in the wood shop, push up, but you know I won't. Try to build a home, even though I'm all alone. Write a love letter, let me get it all together. Birds of a feather, and you know we fly together. We can fly in any weather, you can even ask Heather. No, I can't say that name rings a bell. And you think you know me oh so well. And I swear now my love's for sale. You can hit me back on track. Give another chance, take a romance, take another glance, might as well dance. Try a third time, Thunderbird is mine. I'll keep the deer blind this time I'm blind. Once upon a time we fell in love. Shut another hate with God above. On a first date,
Falling and a calling and a falling of my eyes. But I realized, took a step back, but I had to try to be a man. Forward in attack, forward in advance. Bringing back the memories, taking off your pants. Now you told me pack my shit and leave. After we breathe, you can swallow my seed. Here, kitty, kitty, come and grab a little kitty. If you feeling any pity, then it's probably really shitty in the middle of the city. In the 50, in the 50, in the 50, going once, in the 50, going twice. Do I hear 55? There's our love still alive. Any love, got a thug, get a little love.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. Stop calling me, stop texting me, stop showing up in my house, stop calling my work. We are done, we are finished, you will never see me again. You fucked up real good this time.
Please, take me back. I smoke trees instead of crack. Now, life's back on track. So please, take me back. Well, live a fairy tale that you know so well. Go run and tell, don't worry about the smell. Smelling the regret, don't worry yet, cause it wants you back. Packing in and shacking up, do it again. We can be friends. Packing like a Machiavelli, backing in the back of 7 itty bitty city. Working for the nitty gritty, you my little bitty hilly billy. Please come back, buy a diamond ring, other weird things, lady of my dreams. Even though we'll take it slow, just move real fast and forget the past. I'll kiss your ass and lick your crotch for the fifth of scotch to the big black yacht for my number one thought. Find forgiveness deep within. Now let's rewind and start again. Please, take me back. I smoke trees instead of crack. Now, life's back on track.